All right, here we are again. Another Wednesday leg day. Pretty much what I have in store is the same old, same old. I mean, um, yeah, it's gonna be leg curls, unilateral, followed by leg extensions, unilateral, followed by leg press. Um, I am starting to get, I'm starting to get a little burnt out. Not in terms of my energy or anything like that. More or less, I'm getting burnt out of just doing the same thing over and over for leg day. Um, I've partially been doing that because of my knee and now my back. So it's kind of like a double whammy. Um, literally, oh, not literally, but I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment. So I'm just trying to do what I can, while pushing myself to get a pretty good leg day. And at the moment, this is basically all I can do. Now, my hope is, I think hack squats are kind of out of the equation for the near future. My hope is maybe I can do, I'll probably keep starting with, yeah, I'll probably keep starting with leg curls followed by leg extensions, and I'm hoping within a month, within a month at least, maybe I can slowly start incorporating, give me just a little bit of time off from leg press. Even though, honestly, if you ask me, just me personally, what works best for a compound movement for leg growth, I would say leg press. That's just me personally because it takes my back out of it. It's all on the legs, and depending how you do it, your glutes in there a little bit, so your hips. Um, but even in saying that, I've been fucking going hard on leg press. So within a month, I'm hoping I can start doing some Smith machine squats. That's the goal. Like I said, I'll still start with this, followed by leg extensions. So by the time I do Smith machine squats, the heaviest I'll probably go is 4 plates on each side. But I may even have to work up to that because it's been a while. But I'm just getting a little sick and tired of leg press, honestly. Um, so we'll see. That's the goal. But today, for sure, I can say it's gonna be the same old, same old. I'm gonna make it intense. I'll make it as, I don't even know if it'll be entertaining, but if, I'll make it as informative as I can. So let's just do the first set here and get started. Um, that's a pretty good song. We'll roll with this song for now. I don't think I'm supposed to be. Well, let me rephrase this. I don't think I'm supposed to be that wore out after just one set. Holy fuck! And I got something going on with my sciatic nerve because when I do my left leg, there's a slight jolting pain not even a pain. I wouldn't say necessarily hurts, but it's a jolting sensation. Like I definitely feel something that shouldn't be going on, you know. But again, like a lot of my other little minor injuries, it's enough to where I can feel it and it'll maybe affect me a little bit, but not enough to probably do what I should, which is rehab it and do what I can to make it better because I can train through it. So it's like I'm not taking the precaution when I should, admittedly. But that was 13 each leg with the same weight. So I'm thinking, again, it's not, it doesn't sound like much. When people think about adding weight and going up in weight, it's a lot of times people think minimum 25 pounds on each side. Throw the 25s on or another 45. Well, here I'm only adding 5 extra pounds. So I think you can see, I was on zero, add that five. So instead of 110, it's 115, obviously. Um, and since I'm going one leg at a time, that extra 5 pounds is gonna make a big difference. Like I wouldn't be surprised. Not, I probably would have lost a rep or two anyways. But now that I added 5 more pounds, don't be surprised if I lose 3 or 4. I might be down around 10 reps on this next set. But that's kind of the point. I slowly, when I feel ready, want to progress up in weight. So I might, maybe the next month, I'll do 115. Um, and maybe not even that long. We'll see how it goes. But same thing with leg extensions. It's very simplistic. Progressive overload. But a lot of people do it because it works and it's um what have I said before? It's tangible. You can literally see the weight you're adding on and the reps that you're adding over time. So it works. But anyways, that's pretty good. Let's do another one here in a minute. All right, now this is a good song, but I don't think I'm feeling it. At least for kind of getting me amped up for a set. This one might be better. Yeah, not bad. Let's try this one. Now we're getting somewhere. I knew that 10th rep was not quite going to be as good as what I did with the left leg. I don't understand that. I guess it's just, I guess when I think about it, it's not as bad as I'm kind of reacting here. I did 10 on the left leg, 10 on the right. It was just that the 10th rep with the right leg was didn't quite lock it out as much. If I remember on this next set, I'll start with the right leg. I might take an extra minute longer rest since I finished with this one. But man, I not only were my legs curling the weight on the machine, my toes were about to curl through my shoe. I think, man, it's one of those things where I didn't really realize that. I'm trying to get good reps and a good set, and then for some reason, my brain kind of noticed. And I don't even know why, but my brain kind of noticed how hard I was clenching my feet and curling my toes, man. It was something. I know it's kind of weird and random, but I just noticed it. Now, like I said, that 5 pounds, fuck, made a huge difference. I think, um, yeah, I think I'm gonna avoid drop sets on this today. I know it sounds crazy because I'm the drop set king almost at this point, but I'm doing that because I want to do more than just 3 sets on leg press. So do 3 here, no drop set. 3 on a leg extension, same thing, no drop set. And then I'll do 3 heavy, as heavy as I can make it, sets. And then I'm gonna try to do at least a couple back down sets with a little bit lighter weight, and then I'll kind of see where I'm at. But I want to go a little harder today with my actual straight sets. Um, and I noticed the last time I did that, taking the drop sets out on the machines here, did give me a little more stamina, you know. So we'll see if that has the same effect today. But I don't know. I don't always like when I come to the gym. I have a general idea of what I want to do. So it's like, okay, I'm going to start with this, and then this, and then if I do more, obviously I keep it going. But sometimes I change my mind. Say I start doing this, and for whatever reason it just feels like total shit. Like I have no problem switching and starting with something else. But I'd say 9 times out of 10, usually when I kind of have it laid out in my head, that's usually the way it goes. Every now and then, like I said, I switch it if for whatever reason it just feels off. Um, so I did my first set, or before I did my first set, I knew I was gonna do this leg extension, leg press, and I was thinking it was gonna be the same thing, drop sets and then just 3 there. And I did the first one here, and then the second one, and I'm doing more weight than usual. I added 5 pounds, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna since I added 5 pounds, and that's not like a 100% every time I'm gonna do this. Just it just sounded and felt right for today. Since I added that 5 pounds, I was like, no, I'll do 2 more sets. After the one I did without the extra 5 pounds, and then try to do what I can on leg extensions, and then hammer a bunch of sets on leg press. Again, the logic there is not completely, cohesive or 100% tied together, but it's just sometimes it's just a feeling, a gut feeling. And today I just feel like I want to do more sets on leg press, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm fucking rambling again. Goddamn. Let's do one more set, and then no drop set, and we'll move on. Okay, that actually I felt a little more balanced since I started with my right, so maybe there is something to that. I just remember the last, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering here, but I think the last couple of times I tried it like that, it didn't quite work out like I thought, but that one did. I did 9 reps both legs, and they felt about the same. So I mean, maybe there's something to that. But anyways, that was pretty good, man. I added 5 extra pounds on the last 2 sets here, so I'm getting heavier. Still getting a good chunk of reps. All right, let's do leg extensions. You'll never guess, but I cannot remember what weight I ended with last week on this. I remember I went up pretty heavy, um, even to a point where I think I did a weight that I don't usually do or have never done unilaterally, anyways. But I still can't remember exactly what it was. Was it 185? Was it 190? I don't remember. So I'm basically going to do this first set at 180 and then just kind of go off of that. However many I get here, maybe I'll add 5 more pounds the next one. Maybe I'll add 10. Maybe I'll add none. Basically, I'm just going to do a set and see. So about 13 good ones and a couple not fully locked out reps. But we'll still call it 15. So, well, let me do the other leg first and then I'll decide. Um, I just hate that I can always do it a little easier with my right leg. I'm telling you, man, I don't like being one of those guys that are like, oh, if this wasn't like this, or if I wasn't hurt, or you know, I could lift even more. But in all sincerity, if my left knee was better, I don't think I'd have much problem. Well, it'd be tough, but I think I could probably do 200 pounds each leg, one leg at a time. How many reps exactly? I mean, around 10 probably, give or take, because it just feels so much smoother and no knee pain at all. My right leg, my left leg, obviously I can manage it, but a little bit of pain there is. So let's just fuck it. I'll go up to 190. We'll go up 10 pounds. See what I can get with that. That wasn't too bad. Obviously heavier. Only did 11, but I think I can handle one more set like that. All right, good shit. Now let's go have even more fun, some real fun on the leg press. All right, I never want to kind of talk myself out of something, but just kind of judging. I did only a couple, only two deal out sets. Just they're not warm up sets. They're just a couple, not even close to failure, but just progress up close to my working weight, just to get me. Not that I need it. Like I said, I'm already warm, obviously, but just to kind of get me acclimated to the movement I'm about to do. But anyways, I did two of those, and just judging off that, this might be tough. This might be tough. And I got five to do here. At least that's the plan. Um, so rather than say anything else, I'm just gonna jump straight to this first set. Try to get myself really locked in here and kind of get in a good groove, get in a good zone, and power through these. Okay, I don't want to get too excited because I might be wrong, but I'm almost positive that I did 15 there, which would be a rep PR for this amount of weight after doing everything I've done. I think that is. That's fucking cool. Granted, the last X amount of reps. Actually, you know what? I'll go back and look, but I don't even think I was going that fast. Maybe a little faster than normal, but still, 15. I think the most I've done with this is 14. So literally just one rep more, but that's kind of the whole point of training is to get better. So anytime, no matter how small, anytime you kind of hit a goal, or that necessarily wasn't even a goal, but it's just something I noticed. It was a PR, a rep PR. So anytime you do that, in my opinion, it's worth noting, and I wouldn't say I'm celebrating it, but it's cool. Shows progress. So let's keep it going. Oh boy. Okay, one more with this weight, and then we'll do some lighter. Whew, damn. All right, that was the third and final set like that. Kind of a perfect one to end with this much weight because probably can't see, but I'm starting to lose 45s on this side, so pretty good timing. Normally I would go down to like 8 plates, and I bring my feet in closer and all of that. I'm gonna leave 9 on this time. I seem to be getting a little stronger, so let's leave 9 plates on there. See if I can do at least 12. Again, with my feet closer, a little lower on the platform, and try to do a couple sets like that. I'm starting to feel pretty good now. All right, that's a wrap. My legs are fucking shot. To be honest with you, I don't even know how I made it through these last two. just pure willpower at that point. All right, let's see if I can even pose. That's going to be probably the most challenging part of this workout. All right, I definitely need some freaking hydration after that. I'll tell you, man, those extra 2 sets, going from 3 to 5 on leg press to finish, it is crazy how much of a difference that makes. Now, typically 3 sets is fine, more than fine. It's pretty good. But like I said at the beginning of this workout, every now and then I just you want to push it a little closer to the extreme. Kind of push the boundaries. Um, Now, depending on your genetics, I would say most people probably, unless you're trying to bodybuild, unless you're seriously trying to put as much muscle on as you can, or even, top level powerlifters, excluding that, if you're just trying to get in pretty good shape, get the body and physique that you want, I would say most of the time you don't have to push it that hard, especially if you have a 9 to 5 job too, a regular job. You almost just can't recover properly. Now, like I said, on the extreme ends of that, if you are lucky enough to get paid to train and you're a top-notch bodybuilder or powerlifter, then I would say actually more times than not you should train like that. And again, it depends on the person. Some people recover much better and much quicker than others. Like I said, a lot of it is just genetics. But I found for me that, especially on leg day, let me be like specific to leg day. I found that, and I've said this before, but I'll keep saying it until it changes. Um, at least 9 sets, and then on the days where I really want to push and get a little extra volume, about 11 or 12 sets at the most. I couldn't tell you the last time I've actually done 12 sets of legs though. The closest I've gotten is 11. Voila, today. Um, so yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that do fucking a minimum of 15. So it's just, but then I hate to be this guy, but if you actually watch their training, it's like, well, no wonder you can do 18 sets. Each set is kind of, they're pushing, but there's a difference between pushing kind of hard and pushing it to pretty much failure each set or within 1 or 2 reps. So I mean that's a whole other can of worms I really don't want to open, but you know, just boiling it down to today, I would say those 11 sets, it was close. Like I was getting real close to junk volume territory, and you guys know how much I despise that. Um, Junk volume is obviously just like it sounds, a bunch of reps and sets that you don't need, and it's just gonna. The only thing it's gonna do is break your body down more and make it that much harder to recover for no, like pretty much no added benefit. So, I everybody, you definitely want to exclude that. And like I said, I, admittedly, I was probably close to that today. If I had tried another set or two, like definitely. Um, Even that 11th set I did, like that, you could maybe consider that because my legs were, but it was still a good set. So, anyways, I'm starting to fucking ramble. Let's just check the pump out before I lose it. know what's crazy? I haven't directly trained calves. Shit, a minimum of 2 years, probably, maybe longer. And I won't sit here and say they're the fucking best, but they're not terrible. Like I definitely have some calf genetics. Yeah, I mean not terrible. Man, I really feel bad for the guys that they just sit there and train and train and train calves, and it's just like a straight little stick. They just can't seem to grow calves. I could only imagine, man. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, or better to be lucky than train hard, I guess. Because I'll fully admit, again, they're not the best, but considering I haven't trained them in 2 years, pretty lucky, So, I have no problem admitting that. Anyways, I'm fucking done. Yeah, I am done. I need some rest. My legs are shot. Like always, I might be crawling out of here rather than walking. But I'll be back for tomorrow for chess, so that's the main thing. But yeah, I'm fucking done.